Hey there, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Mo right here, and in this video I would like to share with you my weekly analysis on the pairs I trade actively for day trading for the first week of April 2024. On DX, I would basically like to see more buys, but based on what happened last week, we could potentially see price react off of this old fair value gap right here. It looks as if it has been used already, but there's actually a liquidity zone here, which is basically a volume imbalance. So the volume imbalance, we could see it get filled, and we can potentially see reaction off of that for buy side, this buy side to get tagged. And another level I would like to see price react off of is this 105.500 level, which is the close of a fair value gap on the monthly time frame. Last week wasn't the best in terms of price action. It was a whole lot of back and forth movements in price, though it might seem a bit clean in here, but it's still basically very poor. So there was a downside movement that will start out the week, and we got the low of the week on Tuesday, and price eventually reached for this buy side liquidity that I specified last week, but it had a hard time doing that because there was so much back and forth movement that happened during the whole process of it actually getting to tag this high. I also expected price to tag this high right here, but that didn't happen. Like immediately price took this buy side, like it retracted back into the range. So that was a poor price action to me, really. On GBP USD, I would like to see price reach for these lows right here. So I'm leaning more on sales, and I would like to see price tag this buy side liquidity right here, either one of these highs, before we could see shift in market structure to the downside to actually continue lower. Like it can, but it's going to be much low probability if we just open up for the week without tagging any buy side and continue to the downside. On USD card, last week wasn't the best price action, really. I was expecting buys last week, and I was able to position myself on Tuesday after this rally to the downside based on what I saw on DXY and other foreign currencies I trade in alignment to this pair. So on Tuesday, there was the low of the week. I was able to position myself for buys during New York section. So this low right here, I was able to get an entry, and I was able to hold through this back and forth movement, but price couldn't tag this highs right here because it was basically a high resistance short on liquidity. So price just retracted back into the range. So what I'm expecting now for next week is price to eventually reach for this BPR right here. Then we can potentially see a reaction of that, and even if it doesn't reach that level, we could see price open up and tag this buy side here. But my drawn liquidity is still very clear, which is this buy side liquidity. On Euro USD, I would like to see price tag this buy side before we can see a continuation to the downside. And if it doesn't tag this buy side right here, it's going to be more or less an SMT formed with GBP USD. So GBP USD could basically tag the buy side before we continue downside, while Euro USD does tag the buy side and form more or less like a shift in market structure and then continue lower. So these lows right here is my drawn liquidity, this low and this low. I could potentially also see this low get tagged maybe the following week, but I doubt it's going to give a whole lot of range for price to tag these lows. And it is possible it's going to give a whole lot of range because like next week is NFP, so anything can really happen with NFP in terms of like volatility. So yeah. For AUD USD, I would like to see more sales on AUD USD. My drawn liquidity will be this equal lows. I've had this equal lows marked out since last week also. I guess last 2 weeks rather. So I would like to see price take this high right here and trade into this bearish order block, and from there we can see potential movement to the downside to tag this sell side liquidity. Alright, so for the weekly calendar, there's really not so much action on Monday really, and though there's a news there, so there might potentially be a trade to take on Monday, but like the way I like to do my thing during NFP week is basically to position myself early on into the week, maybe trade Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. Then if I could avoid Friday, I would avoid Friday. But if I couldn't, then I'll just trade London and just enter my position. And if it is in alignment to what I think what will actually be the outcome of NFP, then I might leave something on and just work with that. But there's really nothing to fear about all this news, or really, so far you manage your risk and your expectation is kept really low. Like, you also have to understand the risks that comes with trading news like this. Like, you could potentially get slipped. So if you have that at the back of your mind already, like, even if you get slipped, like, it's not going to be a big deal really, because like you're expecting it already. But I mean, there's always going to be one bad day really that's going to be exceptional in terms of like you taking that slippage in and is eating into your account. But I mean, other days might really be the ones that's going to offset those bad days that you have like 5 or 6 times slippage on your trade. So I mean, it could happen basically. So that's if that person knows how to catch large range day, because it's a lot of people that they just set TP and their TP gets it and price still move like 100 pips more. So there's always ways to like capitalize on large range day moves, and that's if your style of trading is in alignment with that and you're not afraid of losing your profits just because there's really so much volume in the market. So yeah, if you would like to join our Telegram channel, you can check the YouTube channel description. The link will be there. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye bye.